What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the Early Edge in 5. I'm your host, Allan Bell. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you today. But before we get to Thursday's picks, let's take a look at how we did on Wednesday here. Strong day, fellas. Look at EC going 3-0. My man crushing it. Propstarz bringing it not only on N5, but HQ yesterday as well. My man has been crushing it on there. Everybody make sure to tune in on that. And then we split yesterday in the College World Series. LSU plus 1.5, solid there. But the over 9.5, not good, even though it looked sharp there at the beginning. Thought we were going to have it there, man. All right, speaking of HQ, tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern, make sure to tune in. M Squared, the Maestro Larry Hartstein, and Propstarz, like we just spoke about there, coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern. How to watch? Very simple. Paramount Plus app, CBS Sports app, or you can go to cbssports.com/live and watch anywhere. All right, enough of me talking. Let's bring in the stars of the show here and get this thing fired up. So, gentlemen, first up, great to see you. Nice. Is that a Super Bowl shirt there, EC?
It is, yeah. Got to represent the Arizona here, AB. It's, normally most of my clothes are University of Arizona related, so it's kind of a little bit different color for me. Yeah?
I like it. Now, here's the deal. Look, I've got a brand new camera, 4K here. It's unbelievable, but I haven't been able to mess with the settings, so that's why I look yellow for everything going on. So everyone, please understand that I'm not broadcasting from the middle of the sun. We just have to mess with this. But
I was going to blame it on the big red yesterday, AB. I wonder if that changed your hue.
That big red was delicious. Let me go ahead and tell you that. All right, let's jump into it, man. Let's get this thing started up. Mikey B, fired up for us. Your leadoff hitter, man. We got.
All right, we've only got 3 baseball games tonight, so we're going to have to go with some juice here if we want to play it. So first, we're going to go to the Marlins game. We're going to take them on the money line over the Pirates. Now, I put that out on SportsLine this morning at -140. It's moved now. It's around -155, -160 on some sites. The Pirates have lost 9 straight. During that span, they've averaged 2.2 runs a game. That's awful. I expect them to have plenty of problems scoring against Braxton Garrett. He's allowed 2 or fewer runs in 6 of his last 8 starts. Brian Reynolds, he's missed the last 2 games for the Pirates with a back injury. He could be out again. And then also the Marlins are 22-15 at home. So you add all that together, and I just can't resist them on the money line. Then we'll go to the Rays-Royals game, maybe one of the biggest mismatches of the years. We're going to take the Rays money line. This has actually moved a little bit. The Rays run line at -1.5. This has actually moved a little bit because Wander Franco is out of the lineup for the Rays. So you can now get it at -150 on DraftKings. But the big reason why here is why we like the Rays on the run line is because Shane McClanahan is starting. He has a 2.12 ERA, 1.10 whip. The Royals already can't score. They've scored the second fewest runs in baseball. And who are the Royals starting? They're going with a bullpen game, and they have the 3rd highest bullpen ERA in baseball. This has blowout written all over it, so we'll go Rays 1.5 on the run line.
Yeah, a game like that, a bullpen game when you don't have a really good bullpen, like that keeps cigarettes in business for managers, right? Like they're just nervous. Like, no, this is not good. This is not good at all. All right. While I continue to turn more yellow as we go here on the camera, Propstarz, 2-hole, man. Got some plays for us, buddy. What you got?
All right, AB. Yeah, we're going to that Yankees-Mariners game. I'm going to take Yankees starting pitcher Domingo Germán to go over 17.5 outs. That is at least 6 innings pitched. Good bounce back opportunity for Germán, who's been a bit of a mixed bag this season, but he's pitched really well at home. He's gone at least 6 innings in 4 of his last 5 starts, facing a Mariners team that's one of the worst offenses in the league, bottom 5 in OPS versus opposing right-handed pitchers. The Yankees also went deep into their bullpen yesterday, so they're going to need Germán to go 6+ innings today, in my opinion. And if he holds up relatively well, I think he will do just that. So give me Domingo Germán to go over 17.5 outs today.
All right, I like it. Now, for you and either of you answer. So the NBA draft tonight. What time does it start here?
I believe it starts at 8 Eastern, if I'm not mistaken. Double check that. I also want to implore the good people at home to go on. If you're a SportsLine subscriber, I have an article out where I've put out close to a dozen NBA draft props. I'll also be making a few appearances on HQ later this evening, giving out some additional draft props, and I am extremely fired up for this draft tonight.
There we go. And you know what? As you were speaking, look at that. The yellow went down. Look how good this camera is, man. It's doing itself on its own. I love it. All right. Speaking of that, you know what? I think we got some good karma, good mojo here going off of this. I've got 2 plays here, college baseball. There's only one game. LSU, Wake Forest. Winner goes to the National Championship Series this weekend against Florida. Now, for anybody new, this is how the National Championship Series works. It's a best of 3. All right. Game 1 on Saturday, game 2 on Sunday, game 3, if necessary, on Monday. So, all right, whoever wins tonight, both teams have a day off on Friday. Then we start this thing up Saturday. So, 2 plays here. First off, LSU on the run line, -1.5, +120. So, a couple reasons, all right? And EC, I want your thoughts here. And props, Barner, feel free to jump in as well. One, this is basically a home game for LSU. We've been saying the same thing the last, 3 days here. Number 2, that was a big win last night. A big 3-run job by my man Belloso. Crush it out there. And look, if LSU were the home team tonight, like Wake Forest is the designated home team, all right? I would look to the money line, even though it's getting close to like 190 minus. It's obviously very expensive. I think LSU either wins this game by 2 runs or more, or they don't win at all, right? So I'm just going to take it at plus money here. EC, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's this Paul Skeens is going tonight. I mean, he's probably going to be the number 1 pick in the baseball draft. I thought he was going to go last night, but they saved him for tonight. I think the money line is out of whack. I like LSU to win. They were my pick to win it all before the whole thing started. With that said, I would stay away from betting this one, or if I did, I'd play Wake Forest on the money line. I just that the value at like plus 160 for the number 1 team with their ace on the mound as well. That's probably too much to pass up.
No, I get it. And look, for anybody who hasn't seen, Wake Forest ace is phenomenal. Like, and Wake Forest has awesome pitching. Like, this is a grown folks game tonight. This is ace versus ace, best versus best. Everything on the line is going to be awesome. And you know what? Even though we get arguably the 2 best pitchers in the country, I'm going over 7.5. Now, it opened at 11.5 and dropped in 4 minutes to 9.5, then went to 8.5, then 7.5 where it sits. 7.5 is too low for me. Somebody's got to score. Somebody's going to have to win it, especially if we're taking LSU on the run line. I mean, something's going to have to happen here. So we get a little insurance as well, because if Wake Forest wins, I do believe that this over is going to hit. Like, I don't want to jinx it, but I don't see Wake Forest winning 1-0, right? Like, I don't think it's going to be that style of game. EC, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's a good play where everybody zigs, you zag. So let's do it.
Yep, let's do it indeed. All right, EC, enough of me yapping. You got some plays, buddy. What do you got?
I do. Now, I'm not going to be on the show tomorrow, so no parlay. I've given out enough parlays this week, so we're going to go a little bit easier tonight. Let's start with Julio Rodriguez of the Mariners, over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs at -120. Now, I know the M's have struggled, lost the first 2 games to the Yankees, but career-wise, he's 2 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBI against Domingo Germán. He's over this in 57% of his games this season. That's unofficially. I went and tried to count. Well, hopefully my math is good. And Seattle needs this to avoid the sweep. So I'm going to roll with that one. And I believe that that's what we're going to do with Julio there. That's my play. I like the Mariners to win tonight, but I'm definitely not going to play it. Proppy has a good pick with Germán as well. May come down to bullpens. All right. So then I studied 6 mock drafts today and came up with a couple of props. What I should have done was to study Proppy's article beforehand, because then I had to eliminate a pick right before the show, little, as AB says, inside baseball. So I had this guy, Bilal Coulibaly. I had him going over 11.5, and I originally got it at -105, and then it drifted up to plus 210. And if I had read Proppy's column the other day, he had him going in the top 10 at plus 300. That's now down to even money. Never argue with Proppy. No showdown there. So we have 2 plays for you. We're going to start with Taylor Hendricks, the power forward from UCF, under pick 8.5 at plus 120. In the 6 mock drafts, he went 5, 7, 7, 9, 9, 9. So Detroit, Indiana, and Utah are the 3 teams that are most commonly linked to Hendricks. I'm going to take a shot here and say that he goes 5 or 7. And then separately, if you really want to get crazy with like a quarter of a unit or whatnot, Hendricks is 15-1 to go as the 5th pick overall to Detroit. Apparently, Monty Williams likes him a lot. I would take a look at that at plus 1,500 for him to go there, but I'm going to roll with under pick 8.5. Easy for me to say. Finally, Jalen Hood-Schifino from Indiana, over pick 14.5 at plus 130. Now, one of the 6 mock drafts that I looked at Had him going before pick 15 to Atlanta. Good player, not a lottery pick. Let's roll with a few plus money props. Let's end the week for me on a high note.
Let's end that week on a high note, indeed, man. You know what? We're going to miss you. I already missed your brother there, the speculator.
He's not happy today, AB. He is not doing well with this Chris Paul trade. I was going to bring out the Suns blanket for him, but he is already sending fiery text messages to us that he's not happy about that.
I love it. Well, I don't love it that he's upset. I just love it that he's,
Oh, I do. Are you kidding? It's great. Great. Down with the Warriors. Light the beam.
There we go. All right, everybody grab your paper, grab your pencil. Let's take a look at the recap here. And look at that new recap coming out. Propstarz is on Domingo. How do you pronounce the last name?
Herman
over 17.5 outs, -110. Mikey B is on the Marlins money line, -155. Rays on the run line there, -1.5. I am on LSU on the run line, -1.5, +120. And LSU Wake Forest over 7.5, -125. And EC is on Julio Rodriguez over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, -120. Taylor Hendricks under draft pick 8.5, +120. And Jalen Hood Schifino over pick 14.5 at +130. All right, gentlemen. First off, Grace will be back on Monday. So anybody wondering, apologies. Yep, she'll be back on Monday, ready to go. Number 2, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I
More
can't
trades.
wait.
More NBA trades.
Yes.
Bulls, do something, please. Do something.
There we go. Propstarz.
Fired up for this NBA draft. It's outside of Victor Wembanyama, or really it's a 3-player draft from an elite prospect standpoint. But really, there's just so many different ways this could go down, so many different things that could happen. I do think there's going to be a bevy of trades and action leading up to the draft. So going to be a super entertaining night in the NBA, and it's just going to be a wild draft. And I think there's just a ton of potential spots as well as far as the betting market is concerned. So I implore everybody, tune into HQ tonight. Going to be some incredible coverage of the draft, and it's just going to be crazy.
Perfect, man. Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, go ahead. EC, what's up?
And mine is, AB, I know you may not believe me, but I was in a college baseball pool, and my championship final was LSU against Florida. Come on,
Nice.
I win the pool if LSU wins tonight. It's not a huge pool, but it pays for, pay for a few days of bets, right? So Let's hit it. Go Tigers tonight, and my old friend Jay Johnson in LSU to get to the championship.
There we go. I think I listened to him on your podcast, right?
He was on with us, my U of A podcast 3 times. He's a great dude, and I wish him nothing but the best tonight.
There we go, man. There we go. Indeed. All right, everybody. Wish you nothing but the best, and these picks nothing but the best as well. We will be live Friday, normal time, 10 a.m. Eastern, and the early edge of 5 at 4 p.m. Eastern. But until then, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks.